Join me while we make some fudge and a fun peppermint cake. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to be making some fantasy fudge, and it's really easy. The difference today is I'm going to add some fruit and nuts at the end. You could add dried cherries or cranberries. I'm going to use marshmallows instead of marshmallow creams. So let me just show you my recipe. I've altered the fantasy fudge recipe a little bit to what we like, and I make the whole thing in the microwave, so it's really simple. So here we go. I'm going to start off by adding 2 sticks of butter, and I'm going to put these in the microwave, and I'm just going to get them heated up until they're melted for 1 minute. So let me just, I use a gigantic bowl because this stuff, once it starts boiling with all the sugar and everything else, it just it kind of grows. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for a minute and just get the butter melted. In the meantime, I'm going to get a measuring spoon, and we're going to add our sugar and our evaporated milk as soon as the butter's melted. So the recipe calls for 5 ounces of evaporated milk. This is actually a 12-ounce can, so I'm basically going to add half of this, and then we can use the rest for something else. And then we're going to add 3 cups of regular sugar. I'm going to just check the recipe one more time. So we got 1, and I do put vanilla beans in my sugar, so I'm just going to make sure those come out before they go in the recipe. And this one I did notice had some vanilla bean go in it. So I'm going to pick those out. Not that it wouldn't taste good or smell good, but you don't want to be crunching on a vanilla bean when you're eating a piece of fudge. So, and there you go, 3 cups of sugar, and we're just going to give that a quick stir. Now we're going to heat this on high for 5 minutes in the microwave. And I believe we're going to take it out and just give it a quick stir after 3 minutes. Yeah, after 3 minutes. So I think it's really just easier if I set the timer on the microwave for 3 minutes. I'll stir it, and then I'll do an additional 2. So I'll do that, and I'll stir it, and then I'll bring it back and show you after the 5 minutes. So this is what our sugar mixture is going to look like. So we cooked it in the microwave for 5 minutes, stirring it after 3, and then it was an additional 5.5 minutes stirring after 3. So after all of the microwaving of the sugar, the milk, and the butter, we were supposed to let it rest for 2 minutes, which I did. And at this point, I'm going to add the milk chocolate pieces. So you add 1 bag of chocolate chips. I'm just going to stir those in until they're melted. Just take a quick minute. And when this is all melted together, then we're going to add in our fruit and nut mix, and then we're going to add in the marshmallows. And you'll see this is going to come together pretty quickly. The chocolate helps it start setting up pretty quickly. As soon as it gets out of the microwave, you would think as hot as it is, it's like lava, but it really does get this set up pretty fast. So I'm going to add about a cup of this fruit and nut mixture. It's cranberries, raisins, some walnuts. I'm going to stir those in. And then I'm going to add in my marshmallows. Now, if you prefer to do marshmallow cream, you go right ahead and do that. I prefer the marshmallows. They melt a little while everything's really hot, but then you still have that marshmallowy taste, and they kind of hold a little bit of their size after the fudge sets up. So the marshmallow cream doesn't do that. It's really what it says. It's cream, and you know, it sets up all in one piece. But this is more like gonna be kind of like a Rocky Road type of fudge. And it comes out really good. You can see it's already starting to set up a little bit. See if that's cool enough to handle. And you see some of these marshmallows are already melting into the fudge. And that's really it. I am gonna add a little bit of vanilla. I have some homemade vanilla that I make. Just add about a teaspoon or to a tablespoon of vanilla. Just mix that in. And now I'm gonna pour it into a greased, buttered 13 by 9-inch pan. And you can see this is, the marshmallows in this are pretty much gone. I may add a couple more just because I want to have that marshmallowy look. Like so. And what I'm going to do after all this cools down in the 9 by 13 pan, I'm actually going to move it into the freezer. I'll probably cut it into pieces first, but then I'm going to go ahead and just cover it up and put it in the freezer, and I'll put it in my Christmas bags when I'm ready to go. So that's about it. I'm going to put this here, move my pan here. And all I'm gonna do is get this fudge into the pan. It's very heavy. It's heavy even if all I was holding is the pan. I guess that's what happens when you start to get a little older. You're not quite as strong as you were when you were, you know, 25 or 30. So, there we go. And this is the best fudge. It actually ships really well. It, you know, it makes a great gift when you're giving it to people. It's just really, really tasty. It's gonna be very buttery, and people really like that. You can see it kind of has a little bit of the butter rising to the top. And that's about it. I'm gonna let that set up, and then I'm gonna, like I said, I'll let it cool, and then I'll put it in the freezer, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get it all ready to freeze up. So I wanted to just show you how the fudge came out. It just looks absolutely beautiful. It's set up wonderfully. I had it covered through the night. Now I'm gonna go put it in the freezer, but let me show you how it looks. So while the fudge was still a little bit soft, I went ahead and cut it into squares. You can see all the squares are, you know, have a little bit of marshmallow in them, raisins, cranberries, walnuts. It came out very good. So this is a piece of fudge that I cut. You can see it's, you know, nice and firm, and I'll show you how it tastes. So here we go, the fudge that we made yesterday. Boy, that's good. I wish you could taste it. So I'm gonna put this in the freezer. It freezes really good. And then when I make up my little Christmas bags or my little Christmas plates for my friends, I will take it out, put it together, and it'll be part of my holiday treats. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you get a chance, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So the next cake I'm going to be baking, or dessert I guess, is a peppermint cake. So this can be made with any white mix cake, and I will just show you how to put all the ingredients together. It's a really delicious cake for Christmas, something you can take for your Christmas party or what have you. Not only is it really pretty, it's very tasty if you like peppermint. So I'm just going to be adding 1 white cake mix. And to that, I'm going to be adding a 1/2 cup of water. And I'm also going to be adding 1/4 cup of oil. You don't need a lot of oil for this. But you are going to need 1/4 cup. And then you're going to be adding a small amount of vanilla. You're going to be adding 2 teaspoons of peppermint extract. And then you're also going to be adding 3 eggs. And that's basically it for this cake mix. You're going to just put the eggs in the mix. And I'll mix it up with my mixer and I'll get right back to you. So at this point, you're going to have your cake mix. It's going to be pretty thick, but you're going to put it into a 9 by 13 buttered dish. So I'm going to just pour it in here. You could also put it in 2 round pans if you'd prefer, but this is what we're going to do. So this is going to be kind of a thinner cake, but it's going to work out good because we're going to have frosting, and then we're also going to have crushed peppermint on the top of it. So we're going to just put the cake mix in here. We're going to bake it at 350 degrees for, let's see. Now this is actually a thicker cake mix, so I'm going to be putting it in an 8 by 8 pan, and I'm going to put it in the oven for about 25-30 minutes. We'll check on it when it's done. So now we're gonna do the frosting for our peppermint cake. I only did half of the frosting recipe because I did a very small cake, but if you wanna do the full 9 by 13 pan, the frosting you're gonna use is a 1/2 cup of butter, which is basically 1 stick, 3 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk or water, and then 2 teaspoons of peppermint extract. So like I said, I cut mine in half, so I'm just gonna go ahead and frost the cake and then show you the topping that I put on it. Basically, you can see I just make sure all of the cake is frosted and get all the little corners, because you're gonna be putting a peppermint all over the cake. So that's it. Now all I did was I took 2 peppermint bars and I used a hammer, and as you can see, I just did this a few minutes ago. Just kind of chop them up into small little pieces. When you get it all chopped on one side, just turn it over and just try to get all the real big pieces out. But that's basically it. You're gonna take your candy, and with clean hands, you're gonna just sprinkle it right over the cake. And you know, for Christmas, this makes a really pretty little cake. It's very festive. You know, it tastes very festive. If you like peppermint, it's just a fun cake to serve at the holidays. So I'm gonna be surprising the kids tomorrow when they come over with it. It's Friday, it'll be a little treat day. I usually get them donuts on Friday as a treat for the week, but tomorrow they're gonna get a peppermint cake instead. So that's it. Try to get it covered in all the little areas. That's basically the peppermint cake. And as you can see, it comes out really nice and makes a great little Christmas cake. Show you how it comes out. All the way around. I don't really need the spatula for this one, I don't think. I think I can pull it out. And as you can see, the cake is really moist and beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a quick bite. This is the peppermint cake. Oh, it's so festive. It's got some peppermint extract in the cake. It's got peppermint in the frosting, and then the little pieces of peppermint on top. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm gonna finish this, and thank you for joining me. Thanks for joining me making fudge today and for making the peppermint cake. I hope you enjoyed it, and Merry Christmas.